I haven't told this really before, so this is the first time. The attack on our family, I would say, started about 7 years ago. She was having panic attacks and we could barely leave the house. None of us could make it better. I was just on my knees in my closet. I just need the presence of the Lord to calm me. Our younger daughter had a dream. My husband Ryan was going to be thrown like a frisbee by Satan. God, what else do I need to do? She said, I think you have mold in your house.
Hey, welcome back to another Broken to Build podcast episode. I am Lauren DeLoach, your host, and today I have another Lauren joining me today, Lauren Shippy, and I'm excited to delve into her story. So before we get started, I would love for you to just share a little bit about you and your life and who you are, and then we'll dive into your story.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to share our story. I really haven't done this, and we were just talking before this, but our family's really walked through a season the last few years, and I was just too in it to be able to even share. And so I'm really looking forward to this. But we live here locally in Palm Beach Gardens. I have a husband, Ryan, who's in finance, and our two girls, Ella and Piper, and they're 12 and 9. And really, I'm just an entrepreneur at heart. I love business. I've always loved it. I also love people. I love seeing them. And truly drawing out the dynamics that make them work in their heart and putting those two things together to create strategies that build new things. So that's really what I do. I've built several startups, been on the team over the years, founded a family investment office with my dad out of Philadelphia years ago, about 15 years ago. And through all of these things, this marrying of business and people, just really launched Storywork, my consulting agency. And so it's just been a journey, and I'm really thankful for all of it.
Yeah, I love it. That's a perfect intro. And I do want to say, kind of reiterate what we were talking about earlier. On Broken to Build, the stories that we share are meant to encourage people. And I love that you are going to be sharing, but now you have the wisdom of what you have come out of. And so there are people that have contacted me that say, hey, I want to share my story. But a lot of times when we're in the middle of it and we're working it out, it's like we don't have the wisdom yet. Our cut is bleeding and we're trying to stop from hemorrhaging. And now after it scabs and scars over, there's wisdom to be found in that. And so I'm excited. And just knowing you, I'm excited to hear the wisdom. You already had wisdom. So I'm excited to hear what's come of your story. So you can start wherever you feel comfortable, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I haven't told this really before, so this is the first time. But I would say really the attack on our family, I would say, started about 7 years ago when I launched Storywork. And I launched that business to help people define their stories and make them matter. And I could feel the pull. It was like I would be next to my husband in those times, and I could just feel almost this like heaviness, this weight during that time. And I remember I would just like reach over and he'd be sleeping and I would just pray like over him. And I remember during that time, the biggest thing that I prayed was, Lord, please protect my family. That is my number one priority. Like, please protect my family. And that sounds so silly because it's not like I was starting something that was like massive or this crazy big movement, but I knew that it would impact people's lives and that I was going to use my voice and use like his discernment and wisdom to guide people. And so it felt like there was just a lot of transition coming. Like my husband changed jobs in that time period, and that shift was a really hard transition to walk through for him. And he did it so well. Like I was so proud of how he handled that. But just navigating kind of all of those things kind of started the journey. And then our oldest Ella has always struggled a little bit with different things. And some anxiety and, nighttime stuff, like would have trouble sleeping off and on and things like that. But it was never, it was never really like a big issue, right? We all struggle with different things. And then fast forward, to 3 years ago, it really started to ramp up. It was like all of a sudden, we were thrown into this season where, she was having panic attacks and things before school. And there were, things were getting really difficult, like for her, like socially and in the classroom. And we just didn't know like where it was coming from.
Okay.
And so we went through the summer and it was, we got by, but then it was like the end of that summer, we came home from New Jersey, or we go up to see our family. And for like 6 weeks, it was like all hell broke loose, like in our home. And it was just, we don't know what happened. We don't know what triggered it.
Yeah.
It was just like we could barely leave the house.
Can you be more like specific? Like give me an example of what that looked like for you guys?
Yeah. So it was just, she was having so much panic. There were like just episodes that like it was like she couldn't get herself out of it. Like she couldn't reset. And I knew like it wasn't her, like it wasn't who she was, you know, but she was struggling so much that it was just impacting just all of us. We just all had to stop and be home with her. And it was almost like none of us could make it better. Like we couldn't fix whatever was going on. Internally. There was nothing that we could do to fix it or make it better. And so we sought like, counselors and psychiatrists and, all the things that we could think of to do. And thankfully, we were able to get her stabilized enough that she was feeling okay. But in that process, we had to go on medication and, trying to work with counselors. But still, it just felt like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It just felt like we were just putting a Band-Aid on things for now. And then I would say we went through another year or two where...
Can I stop you right there? Because I'd love to ask a question.
Yeah.
Because I think that this is very relevant to people, because I know I've had times in my mothering where I feel helpless.
Yeah.
Like I can't help my kid.
Yes.
And that is like the worst feeling. How did you tell me about that feeling, and how did you deal with it, work through it, struggle with it?
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that there would be a round 2. But for round 1, I would say I was just on my knees in my closet. That's where I go when I just need like the presence of the Lord to calm me and give me peace and strength. I think Ryan and I just navigated it together. We tag teamed. We are a good team in that way. Like we really can know, like, I'm tagging out. I'm totally tapped out. I can't do one more thing. I'm hitting a wall. And so he was able to tag in. And so it just required us to be home full time doing it together.
Yeah.
And also, giving Piper what she needed during that time.
Yeah.
So it was just a constant like refueling. I went on a lot of walks. Like some days I would go on like 4 walks just to like get perspective and get out of the house, because it was like the house felt like the walls were almost closing in. In that time. And, obviously support network, like the people that we have around us that were just praying. We just didn't know what else to do. Like, obviously we were doing all the things, right? We're taking all the steps.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not enough. Like all those natural steps don't cut it.
Yeah.
And
Was there, during round 1 of this, was there a scripture that you like specifically gravitated towards or resonated with you?
I think just be still and know that I'm God. And sometimes it's hard to be still, especially for me. I'm a person that is always creating new things and thinking things and doing things. And so this was a real lesson for me to stop and be still internally before God and know that He's sovereign and that that He has a plan, and it might look a lot different than my expectations, our expectations of how we thought these years would go for our family. We just thought, oh, it'll be like normal and we'll just, have a normal life in school and all the things. And it's been anything but that, And I forgot to mention that before all this was kind of wild. I hadn't really experienced this before, but our younger daughter had a dream before all of this happened. And it was so vivid that I recorded it because she said it several times. And I was like, this sounds like something I should pay attention to.
Yeah.
And it was about 3 or 4 months before we went into this first spiral.
Okay.
And so it was like I knew that something was coming and I didn't know what.
Do you feel comfortable sharing the dream?
Yeah.
If you don't, it's okay.
Intense. Like, yes. So she had a dream that we were in the desert and there was a river. And she said that there was a family in the dream throwing mud balls at us.
Okay.
And it was her and Ella, and there were two kids in the dream with parents, and they told the kids about Jesus and who He was.
Okay.
And that was just like the first part of the dream. And then it was like we moved on, and her and I at some point sat in a chair in the middle of it and snuggled. That was like part of the dream.
Okay.
Like comfort.
Yep.
And then there was a big pit, and my husband Ryan was being thrown. This is nothing Piper would ever say.
Yeah.
I know this sounds wild, but my husband Ryan was going to be thrown like a frisbee by Satan, and he was thrown in the pit with Satan. They were wrestling, and he climbed back out one time, and he was thrown like a frisbee again, and then they wrestled into the pit the second time, and the second time Ryan climbed back out, and Satan did not come back out. Like there was victory at the end of the dream. And so
for a child,
she was 7 at the time, I think.
Yeah.
To have a dream like this. And this wasn't really stuff it's not like we were talking about this in our spiritual warfare every night at the dinner table. Like this was not something that was on our radar.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of thought like, okay, something is happening here. Yeah. I'm going to just notice and pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting to note that when we went through kind of round 1 of this, I would sit outside of Ella's room at night because she couldn't sleep on her own for a while.
Yeah.
And while I was, sitting out there, this was really the start of the new venture that I'm working on now. But I would sit and I would journal, and it was like the Lord was just giving me like all these words around what this would look like, and pages upon pages upon pages. And it wasn't like I was like trying or anything like that. It was just like He was just speaking. And so it was like in the middle of this storm, of this crisis of our family, He was also downloading things and showing things to us.
Yeah.
And so it was like we were existing in this wild time within our house, but somehow He was moving. That's all I know. And so I was listening and paying attention and watching and just seeking to learn.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot to take in.
How long between round 1 and round 2? Like what was the calm in the middle of it? Like
there was a calm. That was like the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just totally a hurricane.
Totally.
The middle is calm. So we had a break. That was good. That was about a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
In between.
And I feel like God does that sometimes. Like I know when I look back in some of my own times of like being in this storm, He like it makes you feel like God's like, okay, I'm going to give you a breath. Like you just don't have to like swim in the deep trying to keep your head above water forever. Like, let me bring you up. Let me give you a break. Let me give you like renew your strength. Like, you know, so I love that he does that for us.
Yes.
But then for me, and I don't know if you felt this, like some kind of jumping ahead, but then when you get back in the storm, I'm like, God, why? I thought we were done with this.
Oh yeah.
Like,
no part of me wanted to go back.
Yeah. Like I don't want to do this again. And so anyway, so keep going with your story.
Yeah.
I was just prefacing because I know how I would feel.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
It was so intense. It was the most intense thing I had ever been through in my life. Same with Ryan and same with our whole family. And so yeah, when we started to go through it again, and it was actually this past November that this round 2 came about.
Okay.
And, you know, we started the school year pretty normally and, you know, things were going pretty well. And then it was just, I mean, it was thing after thing. Like it was like random injuries, like repeated sickness. I mean, just all kinds of things leading up to this while I'm working on creating like the new thing, right? And building something new. And then it was like November hit, almost Thanksgiving, and it was clear that we were going back in. We were going back in for the second half. Ella was unable to go to school.
Okay.
So it was it was all over again. The panic, the just not like she wasn't able to see clearly. Like her brain was just not functioning fully, and we could not get her stable again. And this was all through the holidays this past year. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, we were barely surviving.
Have you ever been through anything like that? Like anxiety, panic attacks, like those kind of things?
I have struggled with anxiety off and on, like throughout my life. I would say I've always been someone who, like, my brain works really fast. And so I think I've just always been someone that is going like at high speed. And I mean, I have struggled with it, but not at all to this degree.
Okay.
And no, like panic attacks, no, never had that. Like I just, no. So I was just like, I can't really understand, you know, and my husband, same, but throughout this time, he also really struggled, too, psychologically. Like he went through a period of time where he was literally hearing things like intrusive thoughts, from, I just really think they were lies, like from the enemy. And I had no idea when he was like really, really in it until after, like he came out of it and told me when he could catch a breath.
Yeah.
Because we're all trying to be strong, like for the family and stay together and united and all of this. And like, you know, when I found out, like when he just was sharing that with me, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just had no idea that that was going on in your mind too. And it was just, I can't even explain it, but all it felt like was the walls were closing in our house. No one knew on the outside. It was only us on the inside that knew. And so I would do things like I would take the dog for a walk, or I would, you know, go out. I didn't go out much during that time at all. I would go out maybe for something. I did nothing socially, really. But I would see people and just feel like almost, and this is like a lie, but I would feel like a fraud or like an imposter. Like I would feel like, oh my gosh, here I am. I'm dressed in normal clothes and I'm out here and I'm like not even looking super happy, but like functioning normally. And I just felt like I can't even do this because we are falling apart inside. Like we are in crisis.
Yeah.
My parents flew in and stayed with us for months. They were at our house every day to help. And throughout that time, we would have episodes where for hours at a time, there would be, I mean, Ella wouldn't be able to get stable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, trying to run away, we'd have to stand in front of the doors. I mean, like it was really intense.
Yeah.
And lots of calls with the psychiatrist, lots of trying to, balance this. But the whole time I'm like, well, there's something else too, like spiritually, like, what is it? Like, what is it, Lord? Like, what do we need to do? What else do we need to see? Like, show us.
Yeah.
I was just like, just show us whatever it is. And I feel like the pivotal moment, like when things changed, I asked one morning, I was like, God, what else do I need to do? Like, this isn't the answer. Like, these medications are not the answer. This, I just, there was something still off.
Because I will say, like, from someone who has I've been through the panic attacks, I've been through the medication. Like,
Yeah.
if you, and from a child's perspective, like, I am an adult and I could tell, like, when they would give me the wrong medication
Yes.
or the wrong dose, I took it. I remember one morning waking up and I was so anxious. I couldn't move. My hands were like completely, I couldn't move my hand. I was like, I could barely talk.
Yeah.
And it was the morning after I'd taken the medication the night before. And I knew enough to be like, this is not the right medication.
Yes.
Or it's not the right dosage. It's not okay.
Yes.
And so it passed, but children don't understand. Like,
no,
they're not in tune enough to know, is this medicine reacting to my body or is this the right thing?
That's right.
Like, and so there is that, I mean, to bring, and again, there's a time and a place for medication. People need it, but like to get the right one and the right dosage it's hard. Can be challenging.
You have to go through a lot to get there. And I think, something else worth noting is like, as a parent, the responsibility that we felt in carrying that for our child, because she wasn't old enough, and it's our responsibility to own that, right? And so, but I also think there's a piece of it where I just would feel so much shame because I would feel like I'm messing this up. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not, I'm not all these things, and I'm taking the advice, but I have to then put it through the filter of, God, what do you want me to do next? Because it doesn't matter how many doctors you have. Like, it could still not be the right answer for her.
Right.
And so it just felt like it was like she was almost like slipping away, and we felt so helpless.
Yeah.
But I knew, like,
and then you were getting attacked and Ryan was getting attacked on your own, like
all sides,
everything.
All sides.
Yeah.
I can't even put words.
Yeah. With like, all of a sudden, like, you're helping your daughter deal with this, but then you're dealing with shame, and then you're dealing with imposter syndrome, and then Ryan's dealing with all these lies.
Yes.
All at the same
It was the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It was the perfect storm. I would say round 2 was harder than round 1. But it brought us to our knees. And I mean, it was like anything that was behind the walls or behind the crevices of our hearts that was ugly or that was not, I think, like, representative of like who God is. And like, clearly, I mean, we're not perfect, right? So we're going to still like mess up all the time. But like, it's like nothing could hide anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that was what caused like this, but I do believe that this is how it was used in our family.
Yes.
Is that nothing could hide anymore. And so the pivotal moment was, I was just like, what else do? I hit a breaking point where I was like, this isn't working. We need something else. And God told me just to reach out to a friend and ask him to pray for our family. And so I reached out and I shared what was going on, because I wasn't talking to anybody really at this point. I stopped everything. I stopped all work. I stopped everything.
Yeah.
I just dropped it. And he said, you need to talk to my sister. And so I reached out to his sister. I was desperate.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care who it is.
Right.
Just let me talk to them. Let me figure out what to do here. And I explained the situation and she said, I think you have mold in your house. And I thought, I wouldn't think of mold. I don't know anything about mold. Like, I didn't think of that. Like, it's invisible. It's behind the walls. You can't see it if it's not somewhere, tangibly.
Yeah.
So I said, can you come over, you and your brother, and pray for our family? And they came over and she brought communion and we took communion together and they prayed over our house and they prayed over our family. And it was just really cool. Like, just even like when she pulled into our driveway, the sign, it was a personal sign that the Lord had given her for victory for their family. And she saw it in our driveway. Like, it was like little things like that she was speaking to. And so it was just amazing. I mean, I had hope for the day. It was like the Lord would give me hope for every single day, just what I needed for that day, whoever it was. If it was a person, and I kept a log of all these things, like the person that reached out to me that, I don't know, like I was on their heart or our family was on their heart, or, just how like his like goodness showed up in each day, a butterfly on a walk, like the really, really simple things. I had to cling to those things because I just didn't know when or if we were going to come out of this.
Yeah.
And
I do want to stop. I do want to talk about that because I do think it's important if you are going through whatever it is that people are going through. I've been at that point where it was like, God, you need to give me the strength to get through the next minute. Because I don't know if I can't even look at an hour from now. You need to get me through the next minute.
Yeah.
And then the next minute came and I would be like, okay, God, thank you for getting me through the last minute.
Yes.
You're going to get me through the next minute.
Yes.
And so when you have those things and God continues to put people in your path and encourage you and give you strength day by day, because that's what God says that he gives us, is our daily bread.
Yeah.
And because it's very easy to slip into those spaces of like, oh my gosh, this is going to be my life.
Yes.
This is never going to get better, that hopelessness that you feel. And so I love that you brought that up because I think it's so important to remind people that like when you're in it, like God will give you that. You have to look for it, but God will give you that. Yes. Whether it's minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day.
Yes.
He will get you through it.
Yeah.
And so I love that you brought that up. So I just wanted to kind of
that was so good.
Put that out there because it can feel like a very hopeless
situation. And
situation.
We did feel hopeless a lot of days. And we did feel like this is the rest of our lives. Yeah. And how are we going to do this? Mm-hmm. We went through all of those emotions and anger too, wrestling with God. Like, why is this happening to our family? Why is this happening? But I can say on the other side of it, what was like really cool was that from that point, it was a turning point. And really, God showed me that and made it clear. It was like he helped me narrate the story throughout the journey. And that's something I'm so thankful for. Mm-hmm. Because I could come up higher and I could see a bigger picture instead of staying like focused on what was in front of me. Mm-hmm. Because if I focused on what was in front of me, I would go into a place of despair.
Yeah.
But if I was able to come up higher and see that there was a bigger picture and listen for his voice and his presence, then I could get through, and that's basically what got us through. And, there's so much that's coming to mind, but one of the things that was great is that, Ryan and I have been married for 15 years now, and we've always had like a pretty good marriage. It's always been like, I wouldn't say pretty easy-ish, I mean, we're like a pretty good team, all that. Enter in struggle and like real, real stuff on our family. And you know what? Like it got tough. It was really tough.
Yep.
And so it kind of like made us reevaluate everything. How are we doing this? Who are we? How are we working together? What has been hiding that hasn't come to the surface in our marriage, in those last years? Because when things are nice and they're comfortable and they're easy, things can hide. And when things get hard, things can't hide anymore. Mm-hmm. And so it was just this total, everything was coming out. So in the process of the mold being remediated from our house.
So there was mold.
Oh yeah, so there was mold. So we had the mold inspector come out, and he found it behind their walls. He found it behind Ella's wall, and he found it behind Piper's wall.
Okay.
And the sources were of two different things. So it was so crazy, like so representative of, I feel like, what was happening. There was a gutter that was missing just on their portion of the house, like just literally the length of their rooms. There was no gutter.
Okay.
So water was seeping in under the foundation. In parallel, our pool heater was leaking, and that was right next to the foundation right there.
Okay.
And then also it was just there was a slash in a PVC pipe that was behind their bathroom sink that had been there forever, probably since we moved in, and we've been in the house 10 years.
Okay.
So we had discovered all of that, but you couldn't see it anywhere. It was invisible.
Yeah.
Because it was behind the walls. And so we couldn't see it until we cut out all the drywall behind their rooms, and we had to move out and, all the stuff. And then it was also in our air. So it was in the HVAC.
Okay.
So that was impacting. I mean, I believe it had an impact on all of us, just in a different way.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like, the attacks like that Ryan went through, and, how all of us reacted differently to it. But it was important to note that there were so many different components of it. There was physically how it was impacting each of us, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And none of those could be discounted. All of them were important.
Right.
So it was really looking at it from from that holistic lens and saying, okay, what do we need to do here? From like a doctor holistic perspective, we got to pursue these things. From an emotional perspective, we got to process these things.
Yes.
From a spiritual perspective, we've got to pray on these things. Like, this is something that's being highlighted. What do we have to root out in our heart, uproot in our hearts? And so I believe it was preparation for wherever it is that we're going. I don't quite know where that is yet, but I do believe that, it's refined us. It's humbled us. Day after day, Ryan would come home from the gym, and we would just sit in the chairs and look at each other and talk about really hard things. Just all the really hard things that just maybe hadn't been said. I didn't even know they needed to be said, or they were there, but it was just like clarity was coming throughout the storm. That makes sense.
Yeah. And so where now you've remediated the mold, and it's been several months. And so how are things stabilizing on it from a holistic lens?
Yeah. It's been really unbelievable to see. We were at the point where, Ella couldn't get off the couch. There were days where she would barely get up. She could not do any schoolwork.
Yeah.
She was home with me for the rest of this year. But it's amazing to see. And I just had no idea that mold could also do this. But she's, she's been working with a tutor now for months at home, getting back on her feet, taking vocal lessons.
Okay.
Which is really cool, like finding her voice, which is awesome to see. And I just feel like, we're doing things. We're doing things again. We're back to life. I'm working again and creating things again. And I just, feel like Piper is so strong. She has like a quiet strength about her, and she likes to do all the activities. So she is like doing all the activities that she loves. And Ryan he's doing well. Like, he's on the other side of the work storm, on the other side of like the mental storm, believing like false lies. Like, in our marriage, we've like worked through so many things, and I feel so grateful. I feel like we're not, it's not like, oh, we're fully back. Like, we have a road to go. We've been doing like a mold detox protocol. Our friends, Sean and Lachelle, who have walked through this journey like before us, have written one for us that has helped so much. And it's a process. It's a rebuilding.
Yeah.
It's like a rebuilding of our family and I guess all of us.
Yeah.
So,
and one of the things that came to me when you were talking was, because no one likes to go through hard things.
Yeah,
and I don't.
They're not fun.
No, and if I had my choice, I'd be like, no, thank you.
No thanks.
I'll just take the easy path. But once you've been through something that is so hard, you taste the sweetness of the good times so much more in depth.
It's so true.
Like, it's like once because I struggled with Lyme disease and I had some stuff that we went through, but it's like once you come out of it, it's like life is so much brighter.
Yes.
And you can like love deeper and feel joy, like tangibly.
So good.
In a way that you weren't able to do before. And so I think if we all experience life the way that we want to, the way that I want to, where it's just like everything's even keel and nothing bad happens, like we wouldn't taste the depths of that joy that you're able to taste after going through such a rough time.
Yeah.
And I think, well, that might not be encouragement in the midst of it, because if you were like, hey, you could not go through anything ever again, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I still in my humanness would choose comfort and ease and let.
Absolutely, I would too.
But when you get this new lease on life, it's like it's something that propels you forward, because the storm doesn't last forever.
It doesn't. And I would, it's like, would you do it again, right? Like if you knew that what you were going to have on the other side was going to be so fruitful and so just joy filled. There is a depth, to our family and what I see now. And I really would. I would. It felt like it was a war for our family, and I would do it again. I would do it all over again.
And I love that, because that's what I say for the things that I've gone through. Like, you know what? I wouldn't change it. For what
I wouldn't either.
What I learned, who God made me through that, who God made our family through that. Like, and that's when I think that you're growing, that you're not staying bitter, that you're using it to like, no, God, I see the good that God brought out of this situation. It was hard, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. And like looking back at the person I was before, like I see that I needed those things like that I learned throughout this refining, like this pressing, crushing. That's what it felt like. I can see how I needed that. And I really, at the time, like, I went through times where I was like mad and I didn't want to do it. But on the other side, I'm so grateful for it.
So moving forward, what are you excited about? What are you working on? What are you ready for?
Yeah, there are so many things, but I think I'm ready to just use my voice again in the way that God has created me to use my voice. And he really has told me, he just gave me a vision of this like lantern carrier, someone who like holds out the lantern and is walking and lighting the way for other people. And I've always felt like throughout this journey, he gave me like a word one day, and he just said, you don't get to sit on the sidelines. Like that's not who I created you to be. And I think I wanted to so many times throughout this journey. Like I just wanted to quit, to be completely honest, and just give it all up. Because to me, I'm like, I don't know, is this worth the fight? And it is. And so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I think using my voice and the podcast, I'm launching a new one. It's called Behind the Curtain. And it's more vulnerable for sure. And, but I think it'll be good. I think it's, what leaders and people struggle with behind the scenes. And
because we all have imposter syndrome.
We all
experienced that being a fake.
Right.
I've worked in this area. I've failed in this area, and you can't see it.
like a fear
Yeah.
that can grip us.
Yeah.
So many things. So
I love it.
I just want to talk about those things and continuing to build out Storywork. I mean, we just launched Business Builder and help people with Melissa Perry and, building businesses and nonprofits and movements. And so there's just a lot to be excited for. And from a family standpoint, just really enjoying who they are, like enjoying who they are, where they are. And I think there's something so freeing in that.
Yeah. I was just reading something the other day that was talking about how we continuously from childhood look forward to the next.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get out of elementary school. I want to get out of junior high school. I can't wait till I'm in college. Okay, I can't wait till I get out in the real world, get married. Like, it's like we're constantly forward thinking, which is fine, but we miss the present.
Yeah.
When we're doing that. And so
that's very true.
That's exactly what you're speaking to, is like enjoying the moment.
That's right. Yeah.
I love that. I'm so excited. Thanks for being here. So I have one final question for you. You said you're ready to use your voice now. Do you feel like your voice has changed over the past couple years of what you've been through? And do you feel like there are ways that you will be able to resonate with different people or different situations now after being through it? And how do you plan to use that?
That is such a great question. Absolutely. I think it is different because I have thought a lot about heart posture on this journey. And, I think that it's just continuously shifting our hearts to mirror like who God is, right? And what he represents. And I hope, and my prayer is that I mirror more of that now after walking through the storm. I think that there was still, there were still edges that needed to be knocked off of me, quite frankly. Just more humility, like truly humbling myself. And just knowing that I can be talented and I can, have gifts and be good at things, and that's great. But at the end of the day, like, that's not what really resonates with people. It really is connection, and it really is story and seeking to see, know, and hear people. And that's what I wrote the book on. And that wasn't my idea either, really. That was, I heard the Lord give me that idea, and he brought me on this journey. And so it's like, wow, look at the journey when you're willing. It's just being willing. I feel like I'm just like this, and I think before I might have been a little bit more trying to hold on to certain things but now I don't want to do that anymore. So I think it's different.
Yeah. I love the way that the Lord changes us, rubs off those sharp edges during the trials. Yeah. So I've loved our time together, and thank you for being vulnerable. I know that that's a hard subject when your family's going through so much. And so I appreciate your story, and thanks for being willing to share and encourage people through it.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us for Broken to Build, and make sure you tune in next week.